Hi there, welcome to Chris's take on dealing with perfectionism. Now, perfectionism, that is a real curly topic to deal with in the coaching world, and it's out there, it's voracious, and it affects a lot of people. So in the next couple of minutes, I'm going to share with you 5 tips and observations on how you can counter perfectionism. Now, I know you know this out there. It does not exist. And that's our rational mind thinking, hey, it doesn't exist. But some people are so emotively driven to get to the finest element of performance or reporting or ego that it absolutely throttles them. But lesson 1, it does not exist, so it makes no sense to try and achieve it. And if you thought you'd achieved it and you delivered it to your customer or your client, they wouldn't be able to recognize it anyway. So in fact, it's complete bonkers to think that way. Now, this is a reframing of the perfectionist mentality, and I always say it is awesome and inspiring and invigorating for teams and leaders to have high standards, or employees, or anyone in fact, to have those high standards, and to, in a team, to work with others to lift to those high standards, not to perfectionism. So have high standards, that's inspiring. Ask others around you, was my report perfect? Nothing's ever perfect, is it? So ask those around you who you know and trust. Validate your performance from others around you. Hey, absolutely, get feedback and learn from that to increase your games and increase your standards. That's absolutely fine. Perfectionism doesn't exist. Often psychologically, that inner need and desire, an emotional roller coaster to be a perfectionist, is hardwired to our ego. So what we need to do in a psychological sense is to sit down, and you can do this with a coach or a therapist, and just let that ego breathe. I don't have to do this to this standard, do I? Cuddle, and what I say is detune your ego. So often perfectionists, their ego is highly wired, they're high frequency people, and they're always on the go. And they're always driving to get more out of themselves. But what they need to do is get into a relaxed state, practice meditation, practice mindfulness. It really doesn't matter, just detune that ego. It's okay to have high standards. And this is the brutal truth, particularly in business. You throttle those around you. You throttle your team, you throttle your subordinates. If you have the unbridled, unassailable, unaccountable perfectionist nature, you've got to ask yourself, look in the mirror, who actually wants to work with me? I worked with a guy a few years ago, and he was a senior professional, but he was undermining all his team by checking their work. He was doing 14-hour days, checking their work needlessly, imposing his own personal standards, imposing his own stylized standards on reports. It was complete bonkers. And after about 6 weeks, he epiphanized and went the other way. So it throttles teams, it throttles organizations, and it's a waste of energy. So there you go, 5 quick tips and observations on perfectionism. I hope you got something out of that today. I'll see you soon.